How did Maggie get down to the kennels?
I don't know exactly, but on normal occasions she would drive a buggy, drive a four-wheeler, or very common for her to walk.
Okay. How about Paul?
Paul wasn't much of a walker, but he would use all of the others.
Okay.
But I mean, it could be anyway,
okay.
You know? I don't know exactly. I wish I could help you with that.
I went over the second sled video that took place in the vehicle. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Chronic Cases. I'm Sandy, and this is where we talk about all things true crime. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I mean no disrespect to anybody that I speak about in this video.
It was a good little while. It was more than 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Okay.
And, you know, was it 2 hours? I don't know. I'd say it was more than an hour probably.
Really wasn't keeping track of time?
And it wasn't, you know, it wasn't getting dark. Mama wasn't home yet. She had gone to a doctor's appointment. So, you know.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, target practice, what y'all shooting?
Just a little bottle. You mean what gun?
Yeah.
A 22 Magnum.
Rat shot?
I think. No, it wasn't rat shot. I think he shot 2 times and I shot 1 time.
Okay.
So Paul has been having high blood pressure, and his mama was worried sick about it. So we were actually, you know, this was a direct thing, getting him, he doesn't like to go to doctors, making him go get his blood pressure checked. His feet had swollen up recently.
Wow.
So, you know, it was a big, huge deal.
Okay.
I don't know where Paul went.
So we hung around the house for a little while. I know that Maggie went to the kennels. I don't know exactly where Paul went, but he left the house too.
Okay.
Here are a few things that caught my attention.
Where are you now? All right. Yeah, the police are here now. The police are here now.
Hold for a minute.
That's my brother.
Okay. When was the last time you were here with them? Or talked to them or anything like that?
It was earlier tonight. I don't know the exact time, but
Okay.
I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half from my mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before that.
Okay.
I rode around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son, Paul? Okay.
Somebody going to check him?
Yes, sir. They've already checked them.
They did check him?
Yes, sir.
It's official that they're dead?
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
Did you lie to Sled Agent Owen and Deputy Laura Rutland on the night of June 7th and told them that you stayed at the house after dinner?
I did lie to them. When I got back to the house was obviously nobody was in there, so I figured they're still up here fooling around. Paul was gonna be getting set up to plant. Our sunflower seeds got sprayed and died, and he was refiguring to plant the sunflower seeds.
Okay.
So I came back up here and I drove up and saw and called.
Did you lie to Agent Owen and Agent Croft on the follow-up interview on June 10th that the last time you saw Maggie and Paul was at dinner?
I did lie to them.
And then,
So they left and went down to the kennels.
Well, Maggie went to go to the kennels.
Okay. Paul left.
And I'm assuming, you know, Paul left because of, you know,
Gotcha.
what happened. I mean, I'm assuming Paul went to the kennels.
Okay. And what did you do once Maggie and Paul left?
I stayed in the house.
Okay.
And I was watching TV, looking at my phone, and I actually fell asleep on the couch.
Okay. And what time did you?
You know, I don't know
wake up?
exactly what time I woke up, but when y'all get my phone, you know, I think one of the first things I did when I got up was call Maggie because I was going to my mom's. And I know I texted her because I checked my phone. And what time did we say the text was, Jim? Like 9:06.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I got it written down from the other night.
I showed you the other night, didn't I?
Yes, sir. I got this.
So, you know, I texted her. So I called her just before that. And, I mean, she didn't answer at that point. And I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
Y'all will just have to look. I'm not sure if I called Paul
Well,
or not.
and that's why we're getting the phone so we can nail down the times and everything.
I left my mom's and I went back home. I got to the house. I went inside. Nobody was there. I got in the car. I went back to the kennels and, you know.
And when you went back to the kennels, besides Maggie and Paul, did you see anybody, any cars?
I didn't see anything right then, no, sir.
Take your time.
You know, I saw Maggie and I saw Paul laying down. I knew, you know, I didn't know, you know, I knew it was bad. I went over there and, you know, I saw it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I called 911.
Okay.
Alex, why did you lie to Agent Owen, Agent Croft, and Deputy Rutland about the last time you saw Maggie and Paul?
And the shotgun that you had when deputies pulled up, where did that come from?
I went to the house and I got a gun, probably overreacting, but.
And was that when you pulled up and saw them?
No, I mean, I came out and, I called 911 first. Talked to them for a little while, and then I told her.
You told her?
That I was going to go to the house.
Okay.
And that I would let authorities know when they got here that I had a gun.
Okay. Yeah, what made you decide to go back to the house and get a gun?
I just think the whole scene had me freaked out.
Okay. Who did he go to Charleston with on the boat that weekend?
I don't know exactly. I know that, I know who his buddies are, but specifically who was on the boat with him, I'm not sure.
Okay.
You know, but I can give you a list of names of who it probably was.
So, Joe, I don't know if you want me to weigh in here. You may want to put your pens down, but a good buddy of mine's son went fishing with me yesterday out in the ocean, and he has a best friend, and his dad's name is Lee Chapman, but
yeah,
the kid said, Lee's son said that Paul slept on his couch in Charleston 2 nights before he was murdered. And so it's Lee Chapman's son. I can get his name. You probably know Lee's son. I don't, but he goes to the Citadel. But that's where Paul was.
Okay.
And I learned that yesterday out on a fishing trip with his happenstance.
Cool. I mean, yes, sir. If you could get me Lee Chapman's son's contact information.
There was a bunch of Chapman cousins that Paul was very close with. The closest one being Wills Chapman and Frank Chapman.
Wills Chapman is his name, but I'll get your number for you.
Frank is John Chapman's son, and Wills is Lee Chapman's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where he was.
And those boys are, they're just really good boys and friends of Paul's.
And one of them is Wills with an S, right?
That's right.
Someone pulled up. Is he trying to account for the additional set of tire tracks that nobody knows who they belong to?
Well, I'm going to tell y'all this, even though I think it's kind of crazy. I was certain that I heard them pull up. I was positive that I heard, and people don't just come out there. We don't get, passed through. I was certain that I heard them pull up, but they didn't.
Okay. Well, if you heard something pull up, what did it sound like?
I can't tell you what it sounded like. I just know that I thought that my wife had pulled up, or that Paul had pulled up.
Would it have been the buggy that she normally drives, or would it be a car?
No. I had the impression that a car pulled up.
Okay.
And And
had you woken up by that time, but hadn't left for your mom's?
yep.
Okay.
But it wasn't much time in between there because I left pretty damn close. It wasn't much time between me waking up and me leaving the house.
Okay.
Buster.
Where was Buster?
Buster was in Rock Hill.
Okay. Is that where he lives, or?
No, he lives in Columbia, but he just started a new job. He's going back to law school in January.
Okay.
So he's working a little part-time job with Wild Wings.
Okay.
Through January.
Gotcha.
You know, just kind of killing time. And he was in, his girlfriend lives in Rock Hill. She's studying for the bar exam, so he had to be in Charlotte, so he was staying with her in Rock Hill, her and her mom.
Okay.
Can I open the store?
Yes, sir.
Alex starts crying, and then he turns to his left to make sure the sled agent is writing it down.
Take your time. Go. Tissues.
I'm sorry.
You good?
I mean, she was a wonderful girl and a wonderful wife. And she was a great mother. She, you know, she didn't work. And she always said it was her job since she was privileged enough not to work. She was going to make sure she took care of me and the boys. And I mean, she did everything. She did absolutely everything. I'm sorry.
No, you have every right to do it.
I'm good. You go ahead.
Back to the kennel.
That afternoon or during the time you and Paul were riding.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all go up to around the kennels or anything? Did y'all do anything up toward the kennels?
I'm sure we did. You know, that's our main shop is, you know, right there. But, you know, I mean, we're normally in there for long times tinkering. And I will say that particular day, we did not tinker around there a bunch, you know?
Okay.
When y'all rode around the farm, what were y'all? Were y'all in the truck or?
Well, we were actually in two trucks. We rode in one truck, and then we rode in another truck some. One was the black one, and one was the white one that was out there.
Okay.
The sled agent asks Alex, "Can you give me a list of the guns that were on the property in the house?" And he starts to ramble on to say that yes, he will. And then looks at the sled agent and says, "Don't you have an inventory? Just follow me."
Do you happen to have a list of all your guns?
I can make one. I don't have one, but I can make one.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, you know, so we could compare if that shotgun was out here and now it's missing.
Absolutely.
Try to figure that out.
No, absolutely.
And I know living out here in the country, you probably have more than one or two.
We do. We probably have 20, 25 guns.
Yeah. Shotguns, rifles.
Pistols.
Any rifles?
Yes, sir.
What kind of rifles?
All kinds.
Yeah.
All kinds. I mean, you name it across the board, we have them.
Okay.
And I mean, all of them we have are, you know, in a hunting room in our house. All right, so, but he would do anything. Paul had this, you know, like a little light that I used that night. Paul would take that thing up to, you know, by 308, and I mean, he was always rigging something. You know, so
Going back.
Sometimes shotguns when he would go try to kill the hogs, because the piglets would be grouped up, but normally he would have a rifle when he went to shoot the pigs. So, all right, so going back to the guns, y'all want me to tell y'all what was in there? Don't y'all, have an inventory?
I videoed the thing. I didn't write down everything that you had. I just took a random, just like a recording of what was on the gun rack or on the gun wall in the gun room that day.
And there are some more guns that aren't in that gun room, I don't know how many, but, like I do know there's a shotgun in my bedroom.
And I think Miss Katie, Agent Katie, walked with John and saw that one.
Okay. And I imagine there's probably some in some other rooms. I know that, I think it was we have two gun cases, one small one and one big one, and I moved some guns from the little case to the big case just because, her mom and dad were in there, and I just took all the guns to the back room. But that's after the fact.
Would those guns have been in the room, in the gun room when we came up there with John?
I can't remember exactly when y'all came, but probably. I think y'all came a little bit, because it was a good while before y'all came.
Yeah, it was probably 2 o'clock or so that afternoon before we got there.
Now, did y'all keep any guns out at the kennels?
We didn't keep guns out there, but there were always guns out there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, we were all a little bit bad about it, but Paul was the worst. He was the worst.
He would leave a gun out there?
He would leave anything anywhere. And, it was not unusual for there to be guns out there.
Did y'all take the
But I can tell you that, they told me that the 300 Blackout was used in this. That 300 Blackout, it was not out there.
So y'all didn't use that for target practice, or he didn't have it out there with them on Monday?
No.
Okay, no, that's right, because it was in the house.
Alec tells the sled agent that no guns were moved in or out of Moselle. And yet, 3 months later, John, Marvin, and Buster go to Moselle and remove 8 guns. Why? Should they not be in police inventory?
Alec.
Yes, sir.
The other day when we were there, we came in and we were talking to John a little bit.
Sure.
And you obviously got a lot of, I say a lot, you said 20 or 25 weapons.
Yes, sir.
And you know kind of what you got as far as any kind of, what kind of weapons you may have?
I'm pretty much, yes, sir.
I know you might not remember them all, but can you kind of run down what you, for us, kind of what you had, what you got, right there?
That I own or that's in there now?
That you own.
All right. That I own.
That's in there, or wherever they're at.
And, Paul has guns scattered all over the place. So, some of our guns aren't there. But, so you want to know all of them, or you want to know what I think is in my house? Or what was in my house on Monday?
Yeah, what was in your house? Let's start with what was in your house on Monday.
Okay, whatever was in my house on Monday is exactly what was there, minus 1 shotgun that y'all got.
Okay.
No guns have been moved for, there hadn't been any guns moved in and out of there other than when Paul was home. When Paul came home, he would ride around and shoot hogs a lot.
What would he shoot hogs with most of the time?
Primarily he would shoot them with Buster's gun. Because Paul had a 300 Blackout.
Okay.
And it got, he says it got stolen. you know, and it's been gone for some time. But anyway, so he would use his brother's Blackout a lot of times.
So Buster also had a 300.
I gave them both one.
Okay. When was that? About
Years ago.
Okay. More than a year ago.
More than a year ago.
Okay.
I'm wondering if he did that on purpose. I believe on the 911 call, you can clearly hear other voices beside Alec. There are whispers, there are words that can be made out clearly, and then Alex suddenly wants off the phone to call family members. If you think your wife and son are breathing and you're checking their pulse, even though you've seen what you've seen, if you think they're still alive, why are you getting off the phone with 911? Why aren't you performing CPR? Shouldn't you be doing all you can do? That does not add up for me. Alec gets off his phone. Does he jump onto a burner and start calling other people? Or was that a ploy to get off the line with 911 so that whoever was with him could start their vehicle, drive away, leave that additional set of tire tracks that were unaccounted for? Just listen.
And, you know, I know that I called some people on the way there. I know I returned a call from my brother John. I know that I called Chris Wilson. I know that I talked to Buster. So I made a few phone calls.
Okay.
This is where Alec tells the Sled Agent that the Blackout was in the house, and he just wants him to know in case it should turn up in a drug thing. Is he thinking ahead and implicating Eddie at this point?
So Paul said that one was stolen or lost, and it was some time ago. Was that reported anywhere?
It wasn't officially reported because I wasn't totally convinced it was stolen.
Okay.
You know, as opposed to lost. But I mean, you know, there was people told about it.
Yeah.
I know that I told John Bedingfield about it. I know that I told some other local officers about it, you know, just in case it turned up in a drug thing.
Okay.
But I didn't do an official report.
Okay.
The two that you bought for the boys, that each one of them had one, and the one Paul lost, is that the only ones that you had?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I thought that Paul got another one replaced, but Buster said we didn't. But I was certain that we did. But, I mean, my memory is it's been gone for a substantial while, too.
Okay.
And you say you thought you replaced it after he lost it with another one, but Buster says you didn't?
I believe that we did.
Okay.
I mean, there'll be a record of that, won't it?
Should be, yes, sir.
I know we replaced it. But, you know, I know we replaced it because I wouldn't replace it again. Or maybe I just think that now, I don't know. But I'm certain we replaced it.
Not random, planned.
Have you talked to CB Rowe since Monday or Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
Because I know we talked about what he had done on the farm. Is he still employed?
He's still employed because I got to have somebody keeping it clean, but I can't keep him.
Mm.
I mean, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And, you know, I told you, I don't know why that story seemed important to me the other night.
Yeah.
I really can't see CB Rowe doing I just can't. I really do not believe that.
Well,
sir.
I mean, it's an odd story.
It's a messed up story.
And, you know, and I just, being in law enforcement for so long and working these type cases, and I don't know the Arlington area, but talking to Colleton County and seeing the property and how isolated it is, finding somebody that's just going to randomly come up there that late at night that doesn't know the property, you know, that's, so of course I have to look within and then start working my way out.
So you feel like it's not random. You feel like it's intentional. I mean, planned.
I don't know what to feel right now. And I hate to say that. I don't know what to feel right now.
He found Alex pills, the little detective. What else did he find out? What else did he get involved in?
Y'all have any good clues?
All of the evidence that we collected Tuesday morning, and we collected additional evidence on Tuesday afternoon. They collected evidence at autopsy today. So we're trying to put a rush on that to get an answer quick, and hoping that's going to tell us something. By
evidence, I mean, is it things you think are going to be helpful?
Well, I mean, like the shot shells out there, the casings, the DNA swabs that we took from the door handle to see if anybody touched the door handles, any other places that we think somebody may have touched while they were out there. You know, we're trying to collect DNA from that and analyze that, which at the conclusion of this, what I'm going to also ask is that we get a buccal swab, a DNA swab from you.
No problem.
I mean, your DNA is going to be there, but we need to eliminate it once it's developed. So, you know,
we don't need that unknown when it actually is a family member.
That's no problem.
I mean, we have talked to close to 100 people trying to track people down, and we're still tracking people down, and that's why, you know, who Paul was with.
I want to tell you one thing while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Paul was really an incredibly intuitive little dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he was like a little detective. And I mean, Paul would, you know, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Alec is asked, were you able to get into Paul's phone? No, I don't know the code. Nobody knows the code to Paul's phone.
Which leads me to, let's go back to Paul right quick while we're on him. So we have his phone. Do you know his passcode?
I don't. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a few people I can point you to.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that he was super, super, super secretive with that. I mean, cell phone. I asked his brother if he knew it. Did the ones that they got the other day didn't work?
Did y'all get any the other day?
Not for Paul's phone. No.
Okay. I know they got Maggie's code.
I know Maggie's.
Yeah.
And it works, or it worked.
Yeah.
I've not gotten it, but there's a lot of people out moving parts that, you know, may have gotten that information. So we'll follow up on it. If you believe somebody gave us a code for Paul's, a possible code for Paul's.
You know, maybe it was Maggie's. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'll find out. I will try to find out Paul's code.
Okay.
But it will surprise me greatly if somebody knows it.
I mean, certainly, you know, talking about the investigation, certainly we're looking at every angle, trying to figure out what fits. And we're talking to, you know, people that were involved in the boat case. We're trying to track down people that Paul knew and were friends with. That's why I asked who he was in Charleston with, so we can go try and see if they might know something or try to figure something out. We're trying to get into his phone to see if there's any information, see if he got like a direct threat from somebody there. I mean, the people that are here are not the only ones working on this. We've got people out doing things right now.
Thank you.
I mean, we're trying to pull everything in. Just the area, Islington, unfortunately, there's not a lot of people moving around. I mean, I've got somebody looking at videos right now back at the office, combing through hours of videos that we've gone out and collected.
Well, thank y'all.
Yeah.
Very much.
So.
Did you get fingerprints on Maggie's phone? That is an odd question. Come on now.
Where did Maggie carry her phone? Anywhere she could?
Yes, sir. Did y'all get fingerprints on her phone?
I haven't gotten that back yet.
Creepy, shifty, eye-darting dude in the backseat, lawyer guy. Did you ping the cell phone towers? Really? Would you not be asking, do you have people out there looking for the murderer?
You got a contact number for them?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get that.
Okay.
Have the ability to get the numbers that ping cell phone tower.
I'm so sorry.
And I know if y'all have the phone, y'all can then.
You're talking about the actual tower itself.
Yeah.
Her mom and dad are just such good people. I mean, they're just
Doing all
wonderful
that. Some
people.
of the other guys are back at the office.
Love her
and
so
we're dealing
much,
with
and
everybody we can deal with.
it really would make them feel good.
What are their names?
A lot of technical.
My father-in-law's name is Terry.
But yes, we
My mother-in-law's name is Kennedy, and they're Brandstatters. I have a lot of his buddies' numbers in my phone. If you want me to dig them up.
And David, I'm gonna forward you this contact. Maybe you don't want me to do it like that, but
Okay.
Someone sent me Will Chapman's
Hold on to
number.
that,
I
please.
just gave it.
I do not know how much it bothered the rest of you the way Alec kept spitting out the door, but this chewing tobacco, and then it looked like he was drinking iced tea. I did a little Googling, my little curious self was like type, and I wanted to know the buccal DNA swab that he had done. Does chewing tobacco and or tea, coffee interfere with having that swab done? Does it interfere with the DNA? The short answer is yes, it does. The person that actually administered that swab should have known that he shouldn't have been eating or drinking anything within a 30-minute time period before that swab was taken. So,
Glove up and
Oh, what?
The buckles. The buckle swab.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Do I need to spit out my tobacco?
It might be better.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Alec continuously held on to, I had drugs in my pocket, there was a sled agent with me, I was terrified of the sled agents because of the boat incident, la 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 la. If he is so afraid of a sled agent, please explain to me why, when he bought Moselle, the other structure that was on the property, he had a friend of his live there who was a sled agent. Explain that to me, please. Was it only after the boat crash that he was now paranoid about sled agents? Does anybody know who this sled agent is that stayed on the property? Please let me know in the comment section.
The biggest issue you had with Paul, when you had to call him down and scold him or correct him, what was the biggest issue you had with Paul?
You know, irresponsibility. You know, he was ADHD. He was bad about jumping from, and he had so many wonderful qualities now, but he was bad about jumping from, he'd start this, maybe not quite finish it, do something else. And, you know, you'll find out from his friends he had clothes strung out all over the state. He did that with clothes, he did that with guns, he did that with my boats.
Lost.
So.
He lost what?
He would misplace stuff or just leave stuff behind, right?
Yes, everywhere. I mean, he would go off for the weekend. Sometimes he wouldn't pack clothes because he's got clothes in somebody's house. I mean, Paul was one. He wouldn't understand how you go out. You know, you and a girl go out on a date. He liked the crowd.
And who was his girlfriend?
He didn't have a girlfriend right now.
Okay.
Alex, last time I talked to him was like 2 weeks ago, although we texted. He was going to Greenville for the weekend. I mean, he had friends up there, girlfriend up there?
No, we had a family thing in Greenville, and he came up, Paul didn't play golf. He came up on Friday and stayed Saturday, and then he left to go to Charleston, and we stayed another day to play golf.
Okay. I thought maybe I had a girl.
My niece on my wife's side is having a baby, and we went up for that.
And you said on Monday Maggie had a doctor's appointment in Charleston. And I know we talked about this on Monday. Do you recall the doctor that she went to, or for what the reason was?
Maggie had a couple little things going on, and I personally think she was going to see Dr. Gordine, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was. I can find out specifically though. Her mom will know.
Okay. And you said she and Buster were at the ball games all weekend?
Yes.
Was that
with me?
With you? And what ball games?
Carolina Regional.
They didn't make it past those, did they?
No.
Darn it.
There's so many ways to crack this egg. A couple people have emailed me about Stephen Smith. I am digging into that a little further. Hopefully next week, maybe the week after, I will have something about Stephen Smith for you. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments. I don't know. Everything's just kind of a little weird. He's telling the truth in one spot, but you can see the inconsistencies in other places, and it just doesn't make any sense unless he planned it and he set up Cousin Eddie to take the fall. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me who you think murdered Maggie and Paul and why. Take care, everybody. I will see you in the next one.